Okay guys, so this is just mock-up stuff, just brainstorming. So I've got the wood pushed away, which is where it will be cut because I have a longer piece of wood. So this will be how the wood looks on this side of the tank. On this side of the tank, there will also be a gap where the wood will come out past it. So I'm gonna build a whole crate. And there's this lip all the way around. So I'm gonna build a whole crate out of the nice wood. Where the whole bottom, there'll be a nice thick piece of wood all the way around the bottom. So that'll keep the tank from like expanding and everything. It'll keep it nice and rigid and protected. So a few things. This one here is just a pigtail that I tied down to that anchor point just to hold this over towards the wall. That won't stay like that. I guess I could maybe do something with that and like anchor that like that, the diagonal that comes down. That's kind of cool, but neither here nor there. I'm not going to do that, just FYI. So what's nice here is you can see that, and this is just a piece of trim that I've got hanging down. I need to get rid of that trim. I was dicking around. It's so when I set bolts and stuff up on that little ledge, they don't roll down the back crack. So I had that piece of trim there. But anyway, this is going to end up being anchored to that beam that I was telling you about. So I'm going to have a beam that's going to come up from in front of this battery that I think can come straight up to here. Okay. And this hook will be able to hook onto that beam. So this hook's going to be pulling down on that beam, and that beam's going to go down to the floor, is what I think I'm going to end up doing here. So that beam won't be able to get leg swept by a transmission or anything because there's going to be another piece of wood between that beam and the battery, so it's all rigid, and that battery is mounted through the floor with those L-beam things, so that's all real solid. So we don't have to worry about the wood getting leg swept if like the transmission goes flying or something. And that wood acts as like a crush barrier for impact on that corner of that battery, so that you don't have to worry about the battery getting damaged if all of a sudden a transmission comes flying. The board takes the blow. So that board's going to go up to this and add support to that shelf, which will be nice. That all is going to tie into the crate. Screw it, bolt it to the crate, whatever. That's going to keep this thing from wanting to jump up when you go over bumps, because it's going to go up to here, and then we're going to have a beam up top that goes from from here up to there. Okay, so technically I could have the beam that comes from down here come at a diagonal and come on the face of this, and then at the top side it goes up to the beam from there. Okay, so it could diagonal from here to there, and then at the top side you have a vertical that goes up to the beam that way, and then this will be fastened to that beam somehow, and that beam would remain rigid, and the plank could come and go from that beam. I'm just brainstorming right now, and I'm just talking all kinds of shit through right now, but in general you can see you got your hooks back there in the back on the back wall, you got your hooks up here. You can see that everything is and those ratchets will be buckled up out of the way once we're done. But just to show you here what I did, this is just hooked onto there, right? And you don't have to worry about sliding forward because the this is all going to be rigid. I'm going to have something that buckles this bottom piece of wood in the crate to the back wall, like an L. It's rigid to the back wall. So if I had to take this thing in and out, all I got to do realistically is unscrew the bolts that'll be in the bottom of this thing. There'll be a couple screws to the L probably. And then just start to lower the straps. And I'm going to have another strap that goes all the way around that binds it to the wall, most likely. Or again, I could do something with that back wall and put anchor points back there, some riv nuts, and have some L's that attach somehow. But anyway, it's not all the way up. It should be up higher over here. So maybe I'll Maybe I'll fuck with that real quick and bring it up some more just to see what we see. Pretty easy to do. I just now, granted, when I'm doing that, I gotta be careful I don't crack my tank. When I'm doing that, it's pulling on this guy here too, which wouldn't normally be the case. I'm gonna move this guy out of the way for a minute so I'm not cracking my tank, because I don't want to have anything attack that tank right now. I'm gonna keep lifting this up for a second and see where we get to. Oh, I gotta be careful too, because there's that L over there. See that L back there? I gotta get rid of that angle. I gotta get that out of there. Okay, so maybe I'm done for now. I don't want to crack this tank. But anyway, you get the idea. You get the idea. It's pretty cool. Let me show you from outside how it looks. Go ahead and pull this back. Oh, see now what it's doing? It's wanting to swing away. That's a shame. I wonder how Okay, there, we got that back in there, okay. And then push this over against the wall. And you can see it's hitting up there, which we don't want it to be doing that. So, the ballpark, it's close. So, let me show you here. So like I said, this is gonna be over some more. So this piece of wood. And so you got your out, unless I install one at the bottom, like a bulkhead fitting at the bottom. But the problem is you can't get to it easily. You can't reach through here because this is a tiny guy. But anyway, here's your fill. That's something I want to look at actually right now. Give me a second. Okay, so this would be right here, and that would clearance the back door fine because that's still got to be screwed in. So that's going to be perfect right there, because realistically it's going to be like right there. So yeah, there's plenty of room for the back door to get to that. You know, I could run a 90, but I think the 45 is going to be the way to go. I think that 45 is going to be it. So, okay, so let's look at it then. I think that's pretty good. In general, I don't see any reason why this isn't going to work. All right, that's all I got. Probably going to take a notch out of that board right there so that's not under rubbing right there on that board.